Hi, this is Destiny from DeskFix and welcome back to another video in the blog app using Django and React. In this one, we'll get started setting up our Django project. That is what we'll be doing. Hopefully you will enjoy the video and learn something new. So let's get started. Begin by opening up your code editor, or you could even open up your command prompts. But let's do this using our code editor. So after you've opened up your favorite code editor, in my case, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. You could use whatever code editor you want. You could even use your notepad. Now I want you to open up Terminal and then New Terminal. And I will expand this so that we can actually see what's going on here. Okay? And let me also zoom this in. So what I want to do over here is hop over to my desktop while I'm in the terminal. And as you can see right now, I'm on the desktop. And I want to create a new folder over here in the desktop. So I will say mkdir and I'll call this drb, or you could even call it the full word Django React blog. So dr_blog is what I want to call it. Okay, here you go. And now that I have this, the next thing I'll do is cd into dr_blog like this. And now if we hop over to the desktop, you can now see that we have a new folder called drblog over here. Let me take this and put it down here and arrange this so everything looks okay. So now that we have the DR blog, we will be creating two folders in here. The first one will be called backends, and that is where we will have our API, and the other one will be called clients, and that is where we will have our front end. So for the API, if you don't already know how to set this up, I have prepared a step-by-step guide here that you can follow one after the other to actually install and set up your project. So the very first one is install the latest Python version. So after installing the Python version, or you could install the latest version as of the time you are taking this tutorial, then you want to create a new folder called Django React. This actually should be blog. Okay. So instead of creating this Django React blog, you can see that I called mine DR blog. So if you don't want to call it DR blog, you could still call it Django React blog. We could even go ahead and change the name to Django React blog, and it's saying that this action can be completed because it's opened in another program, which is Visual Studio Code. So you could even go ahead and close up that Visual Studio so that we can successfully change the name. Now that you have changed the name, you can now open that folder in your code editor. There you go. And now we open our terminal again, and let's start setting up the project. So the next thing is that in the folder, we need to create two new folders called backend and front end. So in this folder here, I will create two new folders. One will be called backend and another will be called front end. And now the next thing over here says that we should cd into the backend and create a virtual environment using this code here. So what I want to do is cd into backend, and then I need to run python-m venv. So python-m, then we want to create a virtual environment, and the name of the virtual environment should be called venv. So this first one here specifies that we want to create a virtual environment. This one here specifies that it should be called venv. I hope that makes sense. So this is creating a virtual environment for us. If you open this up, you can see that it's creating some things here. We just need to give it some time to do its thing, and when it's done, we continue with the tutorial. All right, you can see we just created the virtual environment now. So what we have to do is activate it. Now, if you look at the step-by-step guide, you will see that to activate it, you need to run either of those codes over here. So for my operating system and my Python version, I just need to run venv/scripts/activate. And now whenever you see venv wrapping over here, that means you successfully have it installed. I hope all this makes sense. So after installing this, I want you to actually pay attention to this part, because I've actually seen a lot of people get errors and issues with this. So what I want you to do in the back end over here is right click and create, or instead of creating, you could even go ahead and install Django. So let's say pip install Django. And I actually like specifying Django 4.2, okay? So pip install Django 4.2 so that you don't have much issue. Okay, I think, oh yeah, it's supposed to be Django equal 4.2. Okay, so please don't make the same mistake as me. So pip install Django equal 4.2. So I'm installing this particular version because I noticed that the latest version actually have an issue working with Jasmine, and we'll be working with Jasmine in this tutorial. So till that issue is fixed officially, I actually recommend that we stick with 4.2. Okay, so right now we are installing Django, and when Django is successfully installed, you can go ahead and run your server. But we don't need only Django to be able to run this project. We need a lot more packages. So instead of installing the packages one after the other, just like we have installed Django, how about we install the packages from one file where all the packages are being listed? Now, what we need to do is firstly wait for Django to successfully install. As it has been installed now, the next thing is to create a file called requirements.txt that will hold all the packages that we are using in this project. So to do that, I want you to run pip freeze, then angle brackets. Then I want you to call the name of the file where you want to save it. So requirements.txt and hit enter. Now you can see that in the back end, we now have another file called requirements.txt. And if you open this up, see, we have Django, SQL pass, TZ data, and ASGI ref. So whenever you install Django, it comes with its siblings. Okay. Now this is why we have those other 4 packages. Now, alongside those 4 packages, I need other packages to work with. Now, what I want you to do is you can hop over to the GitHub link that I'll keep in the description below. And you want to open up backend, and you also want to open up requirements.txt. And you see all those packages over here. I will just copy all this, just take all that and put them in here in the requirements.txt. The only thing I want to remove from here is cycle. Let me see if that is this one, cycle PG. Okay, please remove that. And for now, you could also remove pillow. If pillow gives you issue, you could go ahead and remove it from here and then later install it individually. So after pasting in the packages, to install all of them, you want to run pi-m pip install. Okay, there is no need to add in the pi since we're already in the virtual environment. Just type in pip install -r, then requirements.txt. So now it will go through all the packages in here and install them one by one. Now this usually takes some time, so let's just allow it to do its thing, and when it's done, we'll get back to the tutorial. So now you can see that I actually had to reduce some of the packages over here and remove the ones that we do not need, so that you can easily install only the needed and important packages. And after you've done that, let's go ahead and create a Django project. So I'll clear out my terminal CLS, and I will run Django-admin stats project. And I want to create the project in this folder here called backend. So I'll just put a dot over here and hit enter on your keyboard. Okay, it says dot is not a valid project name. Please make sure the name is a valid identifier. Okay, that was actually my issue. What I'm supposed to do is run backend, then dot. Okay, so Django-admin starts project backend followed by a dot. So now this will create the project over here in this backend. Now, can you see the manage py and all this coming in here? So now you could go ahead and run Python manage py run server, and your server will successfully spin up. You see that? So if you open this up on port 8000, you could clearly see that we have a new server running over here. So guys, that is pretty much it. Our project has now been successfully installed and set up. So the next thing that I'll say we should do is, let me check out the step-by-step guide. After installing Django, creating a new project, then we've done this one, and we've also done this one. Then we need to create some apps, user auth, core user auth. But if you really do not want to create all these apps, you could just create one app, and that app should be called API. So I'll break off from my server again and run Python manage py start app, and I'll call it API. There you go. So now we have this app called API. Now what I want you to do is go ahead, open up your settings py and install this app. So open up backend settings py, and here, I hope this is visible enough. Let me zoom this in. Then here in the installed app, I want to create custom apps and custom app API. And then I also want to create another comment for third-party apps. Third-party apps. Now, third-party apps will be apps like course header. So I'm installing course header, and I also want to check requirements.txt to make sure that we have Django course header installed. There you go. And apart from course header, we have some other applications like REST framework. So REST underscore framework. And after adding REST framework, another one that we want to add is REST framework simple JWT. So REST underscore framework underscore simple JWT dot token underscore blacklists. Okay. Another one I want to add is DRF underscore YASG. That's what we'll be using for the API documentation. And for now, I think that is pretty much everything that we need. Let's just stick with this. When we need another one, we'll get back to it. Let me make sure that I install the DRF YASG. And yep, there you go. That's it. So guys, that is pretty much it. Now we have successfully installed this. The next thing will be to work with installing the course header in the middleware so that our application can communicate with the front end. So what I will say is course headers dot middleware dot course middleware. I hope you can get the spelling correctly. It should look like this: course headers dot middleware dot course middleware. And after you've done that, you can hop over to the template section and add the template over here. But before adding it, you want to import OS. So import OS, so that over here you could say os dot path dot join, and then you can join the base directory, which is base there, with the templates or a folder called templates. I believe that if you've been following along with my tutorial, you should actually know how this works by now. You should know that this is pretty much a way that we communicate to Django and tell Django what or where our template is and what it is called. Okay. So after you've added that, that is pretty much it. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. And in the next video, I believe we can start off by setting up Django admin. But for now, let's set up the media URL and also the static URL. Okay. So static URL isn't even really needed because we are working with React. But if for any reason you might want to work with, pure Django templates, then you could configure your static URL, but it's not really needed. What we really need is the media URL. So for this one, you could go ahead and say media / and also we need the media root. So media underscore root should be base there, will be connected to a folder called media. Okay. So whenever we want to access media files, we need to call this URL, and all media files will be stored in a folder called media. So now you could go ahead and even create these folders, and I will also go ahead and create templates. So templates. All right. So after you have this, that is pretty much everything that we need for now. And I believe we can start setting up other things later, but let's set up REST framework. Down here, let's set up the REST framework. I think that should be REST underscore framework. Yeah, like this should be equal to, then I'm opening up a dictionary over here, and I want to set the default authentication classes. So default underscore authentication underscore classes. Then over here, I open up a parenthesis or a bracket, and then I want to set the default authentication classes that I want to use. And what I want to use will be JWT authentication. You could use whatever type of authentication you want, but I prefer JWT. So let me go with REST underscore framework underscore simple JWT dot authentication dot JWT authentication, with the JWT being uppercase and also the A being uppercase and other ones being lowercase. So this will be authentication. Okay. So after you've done that, that is pretty much everything that you want to do for now. And the next thing will be to add the simple JWT authentication configurations. So to be able to actually get the simple JWT authentication code, open up the source code again, come over to backend settings PY. Note this is the completed source code which I have provided. The GitHub link will be in the description below. And scroll all the way to the bottom to the section where we have the simple JWT here. Now I'm going to take this and pretty much put it down here. Okay. And I believe I have explained what most of this does in my other tutorials. The access token lifetime is what we specified over here. How long do you want the access token to last? How long do you want the refresh token to last? And all those other configurations here, I would recommend that you leave them the way they are because they are recommended to be this way. And you can see the user ID claim field this is how we represent it by user ID. You could change this if you want, but don't worry, when we start working with this fully, you will totally understand how all this works. Okay. Now make sure to import time delta from datetime delta. So from datetime, import time delta. Okay. Now, if you hop over here again, you can now see that the time delta issue is now resolved. So other configurations that we need will be things like setting calls allow all origin to true, so that when we start making calls from our front end to the back end, it does not reject the call, but instead allows it. Okay. Now, another thing will be this Jasmine over here, but don't worry, we'll work with this ones in the next tutorial. So for now, that is pretty much it. I think everything is looking good as I expect. Now we've set up everything. If you've gotten up to this part of the tutorial, then congratulations. In the next one, let me check out my step-by-step guide. I believe you can start working with the Django admin. So that is pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If there is something that you don't understand, drop it in the comment section below, or you could also shoot me a mail at desfix@gmail.com and I'll be happy to help you out. If you're starting up a new project and you're looking to build your project faster with modern and professional components, then I'll highly recommend that you check out nestblog.app. The link will be in the description below. You could get professional components for any type of framework they are using: Tailwind, Bootstrap, Materialize, Boomer, even pure CSS, React.js, and a lot of components. And currently there are still a lot of components are still being added to the platform, so you should stay tuned for more. So check out nestblog.app using the link in the description below. That is it. I hope to see you in the next video. And until then, mad love. Peace out.